The fourth dimensional thinking is a method by which you can create your ideal reality. In the book Out of This World, Neville dedicates a whole chapter to explain the process. In this video, you will learn how to start using the creative powers of the mind for real manifestation. Call things which are not seen as though they were. Reality creation happens when you understand that much of what you experience in the physical world is but a derivative of what's already happened on the spiritual or mental plane. There are plenty of fraudsters and charlatans who claim to be psychics. Because of their antics, it's easy to dismiss the phenomena and dub it nonsensical. Yet, there are many examples of real psychic ability in our world. Many persons, myself included, have observed events before they occurred, that is, before they occurred in this world of 3 dimensions. Neville experienced these moments of premonition, and you likely have, too, at some point in your life. Think of when you had a dream and some aspect of it occurred in reality. Or when you thought about someone who hadn't crossed your mind in some time, and you suddenly receive a call from them. How about the exceptional documented cases? In 1999, twin psychics Terry and Linda Jameson predicted the events of 9/11 on live radio. In the sporting world, athletes who are tapped in often predict the outcome of their matches. Conor McGregor famously predicted the way in which he would defeat Jose Aldo in MMA. Neville Goddard believes that because we are able to see things in our minds before they happen, our third-dimensional world is likely a derivative of something else. Our world and lives follow a plan. This plan must exist elsewhere in another dimension and be slowly moving through our space. This plan comes from the fourth dimension. Fourth dimensional thinking, the natural versus spiritual man. Before we dive deeper into what a dimension is, we need to highlight the 2 types of people on Earth. The natural man and the spiritual man. One will take this information as nonsensical, the other will see the wisdom within. According to Neville, the natural man is concerned only with the physical world. A paradigm which focuses on things and objects observable in the now. Whilst the spiritual man believes in more than what he can see with his 5 senses. The natural man is concerned with the 3 dimensions, length, width, and depth. The spiritual man is concerned with higher dimensions and realms invisible to the naked eye. He is the archetypical shaman who brings wisdom to the tribe. The tribe, who are concerned with the physical world, do not understand the shaman's ways. But through years of accurate readings, they have learned to respect him. It is interesting to note that physics sides more with the spiritual man than the physical man. The electromagnetic spectrum only has a narrow band of visible light which we are able to perceive. Most energy is invisible to us. Infrared rays, X-rays, and other forms of radiation cannot be seen with the naked eye, yet they exist. Another interesting idea is that of empty space. The universe, including your body, is mostly empty space. Look into the world of quantum physics to get a better understanding of this strange reality. The habit of seeing only that which our senses permit, renders us totally blind to what we otherwise could see. Physicality is but a persistent illusion. What is a dimension? A dimension is simply a means by which we can measure something. If we bisect a 3-dimensional solid, its cross-sections will be a 2-dimensional surface. If we bisect a 2-dimensional surface, we get a 1-dimensional line. If we bisect a line, we get a point which has 0 dimensions. Clearly, something in the 4th dimension bisected creates our 3-dimensional world. All dimensions are connected and influence each other. As the Hermetic axiom goes, as above, so below, as below, so above. Explaining these higher dimensions will be like explaining the internet to an ant. It's something we can't logically understand. Despite our inability to comprehend, many people claim to have had subjective experiences of higher worlds. Notably during near-death experiences, lucid dreaming and astral projection. Before we delve deeper into this fourth-dimensional world and how to think fourth-dimensionally, we need to cover the important concept of self-image. The self-image. Neville believes the key to mastering your reality is through changing your self-concept. The cornerstone on which all things are based is man's concept of himself. He acts as he does and has the experiences that he does, because his concept of himself is what it is, and for no other reason. Had he a different concept of self, he would act differently. A change of concept of self automatically alters his future. Beggars stay beggars because of how they see themselves. They can be given $10,000 and will return to their usual corner within a few weeks after spending it. A millionaire can go bankrupt and rebuild his fortune much quicker than he made it. We have a hidden blueprint in our minds that controls our destiny. Our subconscious mind realizes our self-concept until we decide to change how we see ourselves. Dr. Maxwell Maltz documented the persistence of this phenomenon in his book Psychocybernetics. He would perform plastic surgery on a range of people. He noted how certain people, despite having gone through radical transformations, could not see any changes. Their self-image saw them as being ugly, and no one could tell them otherwise. The self-image is the reason beautiful actresses and singers like Megan Fox and Ariana Grande continue to get plastic surgery year after year. It's why Will Smith, a rich, handsome and successful man who could have any woman in the world, cannot see himself outside his toxic relationship. The self-image is why so many of The Biggest Loser contestants have regained their weight. It's why many lottery winners lose all their money within a few years. As long as you maintain the same self-image, your third-dimensional world will keep yielding the same results. The answer, according to Neville, is to access the fourth-dimensional world and recreate the blueprint. Accessing the fourth-dimensional world. According to Neville, the fourth-dimensional world can be accessed through dreams and imagination. To him, the dream world is not the realm of subconscious junk as many scientists believe. It's a higher plane where our consciousness travels when we sleep. Dreaming was revered by ancient shamans. The ancient Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans all built temples for dreaming in hopes of getting special messages from their gods. The Australian Aboriginals refer to the dream time as the womb of creation, their spiritual origins. In his book, The Secret and History of Dreaming, dream expert Robert Moss explains how Native Americans taught their children that dreams are the single most important source of both practical and spiritual guidance. Clearly, there is more to dreaming than we have been taught. Neville believes we experience this fourth-dimensional plane with our fourth-dimensional selves. This fourth-dimensional self is a version of us which exists on this higher level. Perhaps similar to spiritual ideas of astral, etheric and mental bodies. This fourth-dimensional version of us is tied to the third-dimensional physical us. This plane has an influence over our material reality. Remember our ability of premonition. This influence is not always clear and does not correspond perfectly with our material world. This is why not all of your dreams come true. Lucid dreaming is what you need if you want to speed up the reality creation process. A lucid dream is a dream in which you become aware you are dreaming. Instead of staying in the semi-conscious blur of typical dreaming, you awaken inside a dream. You obtain clarity and awareness similar to what you would experience during your waking reality. Through lucid dreaming, you can impregnate the mind of your fourth-dimensional self, which will in turn influence your waking self. You do it through this technique. Neville Goddard's Thinking Fourth-Dimensionally technique. Do this practice right before bed in order to be in the right state, what Neville calls SATS, state akin to sleep. Step 1. Get clear on what you want. Perhaps you want to make an extra $20,000 a month from your business. Step 2. Create a mental scene. Construct an event which you believe you would encounter following the fulfillment of your desire. This event might be you opening up an envelope and seeing the $20,000 check. Step 3. Assume the wish fulfilled. Before bed, or whilst in a drowsy state, experience the scene from the first person. Don't visualize the scene as if it was on a whiteboard, but feel what it would be like to actually live it. In your mind, feel the envelope and the check. Feel the bumps on the paper where the text is and make the scene as real as your waking reality. If you persist in looping on the scene, Neville says, we are likely to awaken out of the physical body to find ourselves in a dimensionally larger world with a dimensionally larger focus and actually doing what we desired and imagined we were doing in the flesh. This is called dream induction and can be done with practice. With enough awareness, you can create your dreams. When your dreams involve you being the person you would like to be, you can rest assured your waking reality will soon follow suit. Supplementary technique. Thank you. To better ingrain the wish fulfilled, the feeling of gratitude can be employed. A most effective way to embody a desire is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and then, in a relaxed and sleepy state, repeat over and over again, like a lullaby, any short phrase which implies fulfillment of our desire, such as, thank you, as though we addressed a higher power for having done it for us. This method of repeating the mantra, thank you, makes the subconscious more receptive to the changes. Why does this work? Whether Neville's theory of the fourth dimensional world influencing our third dimensional world is true or not doesn't matter. If your subconscious mind via the mental practice of dreaming and imagination accepts your new self-concept, you will create a new blueprint for your life. You will find yourself taking the appropriate actions befitting your new self-image. Solutions to difficult problems will seemingly come out of nowhere. In time, your outside world will reflect what you saw in the fourth dimension. Experience in imagination, with all the distinctness of reality, what would be experienced in the flesh were you to achieve your goal, and you shall, in time, meet it in the flesh as you met it in your imagination. Do this and I promise you will be one step closer to the fourth dimensional thinking. I hope you liked this video. Subscribe for more such videos. Thanks for watching.